After 7 years of almost daily rocket attacks from Gaza, Israel finally said it had had enough.
No country in the world would have tolerated what the state of Israel had for 7 years. 250,000 of Israeli citizens have for the past 7 years been under duress, under almost daily barrage of missiles. No country would accept that kind of violation of its sovereignty.
Israeli planes struck dozens of Hamas targets and delivered a major blow to the Islamic group committed to the destruction of the Jewish state. But Hamas represents just one of Israel's enemies. Iran is just a nuclear bomb away from changing the Middle East landscape. A U.S. intelligence report says Iran could have the capacity to build one nuclear bomb by the end of 2009.
This is the most dangerous Iranian regime in history, and if they get nuclear weapons and Iran attaches those weapons to the high-speed missiles they already have, Iran could do in 6 minutes what it took Adolf Hitler almost 6 years to do, and that is to kill 6 million Jews.
If true, Israel must decide within months whether it can and should attack Iran's nuclear facilities, and do it most likely without the blessing of the Bush and Obama administrations. After dealing with Hamas on its southern border, Israel might have to deal with another one of Iran's proxies on its northern border. Hezbollah in Lebanon, armed with 40,000 missiles, can now reach almost every part of Israel. In the midst of these security threats, Israel plans to hold elections on February 10th. For weeks, polls showed that former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had the best chance to win. But the recent incursion into Gaza may help two of Netanyahu's main challengers, Tzipi Livni and Ehud Barak. If the Gaza campaign reduces the threat of Hamas, then Israeli voters might turn their support to both Foreign Minister Livni and Defense Minister Barak. Yet whoever is elected may face a hard diplomatic shove for a Palestinian state from Europe and perhaps from Washington. With a diminished Hamas, Washington might increasingly look to the Palestinian government of Mahmoud Abbas as their answer to a two-state solution. From the north, Israel faces another ominous development, a more aggressive Russia.
They've been providing the Syrians and the Iranians with very advanced weapons now for about 3 years. So Russia has already been playing an increasingly negative role in the Middle East from an Israeli perspective.
Meanwhile, after the 2008 slaughter in Mumbai, security forces in all Western-style democracies will be on guard for the next big target in the jihadist global war against the West.
It's going to mean standing firm and not being taken in by the illusion that dialogue and concessions are possible to these organizations, to the idea that that these organizations only want us to be a little bit nicer in the Palestinians or a little bit nicer in Kashmir or a little bit more conciliatory elsewhere. That's not the issue. This is an ideology. It's an ideology which is right now on the way up. It's an ideology which is at war with the West.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.